Guess who's streaming?
You.
Me. Are you ready to stream
Guess who's
too?
streaming? Boy,
Not
you
you.
know it.
I'm excited to watch your one bond, one boss
Yeah.
video. I last night finished The Last of Us 2 finally.
Oh yeah.
And it was super long. It felt like.
Oh, hold on. Oh, here we go. Let's go. Hold on. We got captured. All right, done. I had to change the source for it. Make it a little bigger. Tastier. Have my intermission. Do my little ballers startup. Screen starting. Do a little bit of iTunes music. I'm not gonna do iTunes music.
Is it royalty free iTunes music?
No, dude, it's straight up a regular old iTunes music.
Oh, just regular royal iTunes music. Let me know when you're good, and I'll tell you about my eventful evening last night, trying to beat The Last of Us. I think my stuff is charging. I don't know. Here, what I'm gonna do, I think I'm gonna set up a contingency plan here. I'm gonna charge another controller, so I can just quickly reload.
Alright, tweet and go live. We are live. Oh gosh. Okay, cool. I'm just gonna stay on this input because it resets my PS4 every time I start in here. What's funny is my I'm kind of ugly. Here's the smoothness of hair on this. Whoa, way too much.
Alright, I'm gonna start us in a round while you're getting this stuff.
Cool. Yeah, I'm just tweaking my green screen a little bit. I keep adding additional green screen filters. Basically, the more filters you add, the more likely it is for you to cut out all the green.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, yeah, your goal is to remove all the background. And so, like, I don't have perfect lighting. Obviously, I don't have light bays for my green screen. So it's like, if I can add like 6 different shades of green, then it'll catch all the green that's in the different lighting. Normally, you just kind of do like reciprocal, recursive green screen.
And you can pretty much do it with any color, right? It's just green is...
Oh yeah, you definitely can. Recursive green screening is where you kind of like slowly take in your green screen so that it gets closer and closer to you, and like the closer it is, the tighter you cut the green shape of it, or the green color of it.
Alright, are you in? Oh, we need 5 more players. That's lame. Oh, 4 more. Never mind, it might not take very long. Alright, so yesterday, I'm playing The Last of Us, right? And I get to the point where I'm almost done, so I'm like, okay, well, you know, I'll just play, you know, the last, or Evelyn comes home, and I'm like, okay, cool. Well, since The Last of Us is like probably almost over, I'll just edit back in the, you know, in post. I'll just stitch the next 10 minutes to the last of the video, right? So like it's just like one video or whatever. Because like I think it's the end. It's like set up to be the end. Like the characters are back home. They're living this yeah, they're living this like nice life or whatever. And I was like, oh, cool. You know, maybe there's like something to set up a sequel or whatever. Blah 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 blah. And boy, howdy, was there another 3 hours left of game. There was fucking 3-ish hours left.
Dude,
it pump faked me. It fucking pump faked me. What was it? What is it? I haven't seen it.
My stream is titled Bros and Blasters or something like that.
Bros and Blasters. Did you see what mine was?
Yeah. Yeah, Saturday morning.
Saturdays with the boys.
Part 2. Oh yeah, Saturdays with the boys. What the heck? I spawned trapped. Josh, come find me. Wait, turn around. Josh, come back and look at me. Come back. Look where I spawned. What is this? I can't get out.
Blow yourself up.
This is... I literally cannot get out.
Blow yourself up.
Oh, jeez, I didn't even die.
You just have... Hey, you can probably snipe from there.
Bro, what is happening? I can snipe from here, but what is this? Oh my gosh. All I see is a bunch of little droids rolling around on the ground back there. How did this happen?
Ooh, blasted him.
Oh, I got out. I mean, I'm just gonna stay.
I just one-shot, one-killed the dude, like, heavy. But yeah, it was wild yesterday, and it took another freaking forever. And
that sounds like me playing the end of Uncharted 3.
It's kind of like Uncharted 4. That's the last one, right? Yeah. It's kind of like that where it kind of feels like it is. I don't know. My only complaint, like I was thinking about, you know, how I was gonna make my review video, and I was like, so far, like through the main bulk of the game, it's pretty much like a 10. Like it's really good. And I don't find any, I can't, it's hard to find anything wrong with it. But then the end, like the last, like, it's pretty much like the last hour or whatever. It might have taken me 3 hours because I was dying all the time. But it's like the last hour. It's kind of sort of shambled and cut together really fast. Like, someone will do something and then it'll smash cut. And then it doesn't tell you how long it's been. It's just like, you know, smash cut, here's another thing. And then smash cut, here's another thing. And smash cut, here's another thing. And smash cut, she's in a different city. And it's kind of a little bit wild in terms of like what is happening at the end.
Yeah.
But I think what might happen is apparently there was a big leak. I didn't look at any of it. And the ending in the leak said what the ending was going to be, like, which is what the first quote first ending is. And I wonder if they crammed
first kill.
Just now? Freak, man. I'm about to get killed right now. And I'm wondering if the actual first ending is the correct, like the original ending, and then once it got leaked, they like scrambled to put the other ending, because it kind of feels more like a DLC.
Like
it kind of feels more like a DLC.
Cycles. Oh yeah, you think it would have been?
Yeah, like, because there's a really good DLC for the first Last of Us where you play as Ellie before the events of the game, and it kind of sets up her story a little bit. That's what it kind of felt like. It kind of felt like that, but then it also would have felt odd to like have that as a DLC that not everyone would experience. I don't know. It just kind of seemed a little bit out of place at the end of the game, because the game ends so like sweet and like beautifully or whatever, and then it's just like, okay, just kidding, there's another hour left, and you're gonna keep doing shit.
That's pretty interesting. Yeah, I don't know. All of my viewers, watch out for spoilers for Last of Us. Oh wait, no one's watching.
They won't be able to play The Last of Us for another couple of years. Because they're also young and babies. Got 'em.
Oh my gosh.
Just kidding, viewers of Jeremiah. Come subscribe to my channel.
I'm releasing a very adult video today. I say the word damn in it, so... pretty intense. Don't let your kids watch that.
Now, here's real talk. Do you think that that's more damaging to a kid psychologically? Or do you think it's what the actual kids watch, like David Dobrik, not Dobrik, the Dober brothers, and stuff like that, where
I think it's just completely toxic. It's crazy to me. What's funny is it's been my dream since I was like 16 to be like a YouTuber or whatever. But every single kid in the world wants to be a YouTuber when they grow up, like literally. And I think that's such a toxic like environment.
Well, what it is because like the ones that are like pressed to kids, they might not say bad words, but like the content is so wild. Like prank channels. Insane.
It looks like they are having fun constantly, and like they do all the stuff that little kids want to do, but they can't because their parents say it's not okay.
But then when you're an adult, that stuff is not fun anymore.
No,
it's like pranking people is just being assholes. Like that's just like an asshole thing. Like I don't know.
Well, and it's also like they show off all this extreme wealth and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like this is toxic for kids. They should not think that if they start making videos on their iPhone, that they're gonna get a freaking Lamborghini in 2 years or something. You know?
Yeah. Also, not to mention, and I know this kind of goes back to make it a little bit political, which, I mean, I don't necessarily want to do, but the fact that everyone just gets canceled for anything, even if you make a video 6 years ago, like, did you hear that Jenna Marbles quit?
You tweeted when you were in high school? Oh my god, dude. You shouldn't exist anymore.
And it's like, I can't believe that we ever supported you, bitch, or whatever, and like, that's wild to me. It's wild. And then I saw something this morning.
Growth.
I learned something this morning where I would say the most kid-friendly of all kid-friendly YouTubers, JoJo Siwa, apparently in a kid video had a girl like a white girl dressed up as a monkey, as well as a bunch of other people dressing up as,
I'm sure, completely innocuous,
like whatever else. Yeah, I mean, it looks like face paint or whatever. Like, it looks like she's like a face paint monkey and she's like dancing, and because it's like a circus video or whatever. And she's getting slapped
like
around for that
dance recital or something.
Yeah, and it's like, what would you rather them do? Make a black kid a monkey, or like what? What do you want?
We have the rights on that one.
It's like, what do you want?
I don't know, dude. It's a completely toxic world, honestly. Oh, look at that. Double tanks, boy!
Oh. Are you a,
This map is great for tanking, honestly.
This map is like the only good map for tanking. Just because you can go up and down the street, because everything's like just across the street, so you can just sit on this like in the back.
In a straight line, yeah, and there's enough room to move around. You know what's interesting is that when the droid cannon is in cannon mode, it can't move, but yours can.
Even though it's like real slow. I think the droid cannon is a lot.
There we go.
Bit or worse movement wise.
A lot more damage.
Yeah, like I think it loads down
I like the
and
clone cannon much better. The clone tank is way better.
Yeah, because I mean most of the time you don't fight tanks. I think the droid tank is better against armor.
Yeah.
But the clone tank is way better against like troops. I don't know, and I think that's what you need in I think we just spawn trapped them. We spawn trapped a bunch of people maybe.
They're all behind me here. Are you in the other tank?
No. I'm trying not to die here.
God, dude, I'm getting iced by these blaster cannons.
I have... Dang it.
Oh my gosh, did my cannons break?
They probably just overheated.
Dang, dude.
What was I gonna say?
I did not do that well that life. I don't know what you were gonna say, dude.
I don't know either. Oh, also, real quick, PSA: you can punch through droid Echo shields.
Oh shoot, Grievous is just here. Crap.
So if you see a droid, I could just run up on them and just beat the fuck out of them.
We'll do. We'll do.
Because they can't do anything. They can't move fast enough in a circle to.
Family-friendly stream.
Mine's not.
Apparently, my mom's all of her Facebook friends, like their kids, love my videos, so that's cool. That's where
So who's your
30 views.
the 60 or 30 views are kids your mom has turned onto your channel?
Yeah, definitely. I don't know.
Pretty
My
sweet.
parents
My
are
mom
just
doesn't
like,
know.
I guess we'll just support you because this is your dream or whatever. So we'll just start sharing your videos, even though they have no relevance to us. And I was like, cool, thanks.
They'll have relevance when those cats start getting freaking Lambos.
Buy him a good house. No, yeah.
Oh shoot! I just got freaked out by old Yoda over here.
I don't think I would ever like fully buy my parents' house. I don't know.
Would you give him the? Oh shoot! I just got
if I was
mowed
like
down by a droid egg.
millionaire, like maybe, but
They didn't buy you a Lambo.
well, yeah. But I'm like, giving them nice gifts is one thing. Buying them a house, unless you're like a professional athlete, where you're like literally making so much bank, it's ridiculous.
Have you heard the stories about athletes doing that and what the problem with that is?
What, taxes or whatever?
Kind of. I guess it kind of comes into it a little bit, but there's a story that I've heard Shaquille O'Neal tell.
I took out 3 tanks on this life, bro.
That's
3
awesome.
freaking tanks, and then I died.
There's a story about Shaquille O'Neal.
Wait, look
and
at the scores right now. You have 22 kills and I have 14. I'm ahead of you.
That's because your kills have been more important.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
So right when he got drafted into the NBA, he did the whole thing. He spent all of his money. I don't know if he bought his parents a house or whatever, but they give him, X amount of millions of dollars, right? And he spends all of it, and then he's like in debt for the next like 2 years of his career because he didn't account for the fact that there's so much like income tax that's taxed on top, so your number isn't actually what your number is.
That's
so
weird. They don't
he got
take
into a bunch
income
of
tax for pro athletes.
They do, but I guess he didn't know, or he didn't have a financial advisor at that time or whatever.
Yeah.
So he wound up not understanding, because I mean, the thing with the NBA that's so wild, I don't know if they do it anymore. I don't think they're allowed to. But back in like the 80s and 90s, and obviously before, you can get drafted into the NBA when you were in high school. And I mean, how much about finances did you know in high school?
Nothing, dude.
Now, if I gave you, $4 million, would you go spend $4 million?
Well, right now, no. But in high school, well, I probably would have just asked my dad what to do with it, But not everyone grows up like that, and they just have like my dad gave me a lot of good advice growing up and stuff. But yeah, I don't know what I would have done. Like, if it was like some kind of NFL draft out of high school or something like that.
Yeah, you probably would have been like, hey, I'll just, I've got money, I'll buy my parents a nice car. Because, I mean, you have a relationship with your parents that you would want to buy them things, right? Because, like...
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so,
it's like that, but...
And, I mean, I'm in that position, too, but it's like one of those things where I would not understand how money would work. And...
Yeah, how taxes, how real life, how everything. I mean,
there's
so much more
house
to
payments or whatever.
Than, yeah.
That's why it's worth being a YouTuber. That way people just give you everything.
Yeah.
There are 3 droid echas just camping on, I think that's C. They're just sitting there. Couldn't do nothing about it. 3 droid echas and Darth Maul. Ah, shoot. It auto-locked and
Crap,
I
dude, this
freaking
guy's
missed.
hiding in such a good way. Shoot, do you hurt your own tank whenever you charge up too long?
I don't know. I don't use tanks enough to know the,
Me neither. My tank's like level 10 now, though.
That's pretty sweet. I haven't leveled any vehicle up at all. Like I was gonna tell you, I just looked over a minute ago, and I have my Jet Trooper is leveled all the way up, like all maxed. Like not all, obviously, because you can't just level up infinitely or whatever, or you can just infinitely level up. But I've got all purple on all my aerial troopers and all purple on all of the enforcers and almost all on the infiltrators. So almost all of the like reinforcement guys, like the cheap, extra, super powerful troops, are like super leveled up, and none of my other guys are. Like my sniper is like second, and then everything else is pretty much tied at third or fourth. But it's just super silly because it's like I don't even use these guys all the time. Like you don't even get to spawn as them, but like they're my highest, I guess, abilities or whatever. And I haven't even. It's been forever since I've even played Starship Assault or whatever it is called.
Oh, there we go. Oh, that's level 10. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. We keep spawn swapping them, and I don't even know what's going on. Because the tanks can only spawn on one side of the map, right? Like,
I don't know,
even if
maybe.
we spawn swap for the player spawns, it's like the tanks still spawn in the one spot.
I mean, yeah, the tanks have to spawn somewhere, you know?
Yeah, they have a specific spot.
I think we're about to get... Oh, yep, I just got backslashed by...
Oh, we're totally getting donged. I thought we were winning. I don't know why.
We had all the points a minute ago, and then they did a power grab, and they grabbed everything. I'm gonna level up my tank. I'm gonna go with you.
Sure thing.
I'm already getting hit. I haven't even been able to move my ability. I can't even move anything yet, and I'm already getting shot up.
Oh, Bydred, okay.
Milestone complete.
Yeah. Doing very well.
Trying the TX 360 or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's fun.
I do feel like if you got to the point where you had like purples on your tank, you could like...
Oh, yo, it got dookie with the tank. Yeah.
You could probably like really screw some people up with it.
Yeah, I don't know what happens. Like, what does the armor benefits do?
Well, it's not necessarily armor benefits or whatever, but like it'll upgrade your abilities. So like maybe your... Oh shoot. Maybe your charge up cannon does like last a lot longer. You know, your abilities last, or your rockets or whatever. Maybe you get like an EMP or something.
That
so
almost
like
sounds borderline unfair, but yeah, that'd be dope.
I mean, tanks are kind of unfair anyway, right? But yeah, I do really like how it feels like a lot of this game is really balanced. This is the only one that's not balanced, I feel like, in terms of what you can do in a tank.
Yeah.
You know, because most of the other ones is like a nightmare to get anywhere. So like, if you're in a tank, then it's not like...
Oh yeah, you gotta fight the dick rocks.
Yeah, you got like dick rocks, and you got freaking... I'm getting fought by both of their heroes right now.
Jeez, good luck.
Yeah, that didn't work.
In your tank?
Yeah, I couldn't.
Where's their boarding?
They're boarding? Oh, sweet. Then I'm not gonna spawn in a hero right now. Then I'm just gonna spawn as a sniper.
In a tank, dude.
Now I'm gonna wait till we're fighting in the corridor to use my battle points on.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Because you lose whoever you are. So like, someone just spawned as Yoda. He's gonna lose Yoda in 30 seconds.
Yeah, yeah.
Tanker transports are almost done boarding.
I'm gonna say something real controversial.
Yes.
I think we should try to finish.
Are you freaking
Ghost
kidding
Recon.
me? I'm just kidding. You want to do it right now after this?
We can play a couple more games of this. Is it updated? Here, I'll check and see if it's even updated. Or
Oh god, I don't even know, dude.
I don't even know how we would check and see if it's updated.
I'll check when we're in transition. Just push home and then options, check for update.
I don't like where this is heading. Let's find you a
The application's latest version, so I have it.
Jedi to know what those droids are up to.
That means I most likely have it too, because I've played it some since before you. did. We'll play a couple more rounds of this and then we'll go.
I guess. Yeah, I'm not like. I don't know, dude. I lose motivation for games that don't have like really definitive progress, and that is definitely one of those games. You know.
I completely agree.
I need back to basics. I thought about it's Steam Summer Sale right now. I'm thinking about getting like Far Cry 1, 2, and 3.
Do not get 1, 2. No, 2 is okay. Nah, 2 is fun,
know,
but
dude.
2 is
I just thought
hard.
as a series it'd be fun, but
yeah.
If they have the style that the fourth one had, where you like unlock zones and you just kind of.
The first one doesn't.
So much
Have you
fun.
played the second one?
I haven't played any besides the
ones we played.
5, which is just.
I would say if you could choose any of them, start at 3 because 3 is where the new the new Far Cry system works.
So I should just play 3 then. I mean, it's
Yeah,
like
because-
$5, but I think here's my thing. I'm like, oh yeah, I want to play Tomb Raider. I want to play this, play that. It's like,
You should
how
play
many
Tomb Raider.
games
Tomb
can I
Raider's really
play?
good.
I know. I played the first one. I loved it, and I have the second two. I have them both on PC, and I have ray tracing. Such.
Oh, you just haven't done it yet?
Yeah, I just haven't done it.
That's funny. They really are like, I don't think they're as good as Nathan Drake, but they really are like that same vein. Like,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
they're real fun.
Well, I love the combat when you get really good at it, and I don't know how the weapon switching will work because I played the first one on PS4. But bro, like when you like would switch and you'd be like shooting someone with an arrow long distance, and then you switch to a shotgun because some guy popped up in your face and you just blast him, like that was the sickest ever, bro.
Doors are already breached. We're about to get overrun, bud.
Gosh, fall back. Oh my God.
Not if I can
Getting
help
a lot of
it.
kills though.
Dude, they just have so many
There's
freaking
Drake all over
droidicas.
me.
There's just so many of them. I can't
Why
do
I have
anything about
35
it.
Kills? This is insane.
They
These
just
guys are,
rolled
like,
up.
Not that good, but I'm still getting my butt whooped. I'm on your butt.
Someone put a
Spawn on you.
this droideca put a shield up and died. Did you see that?
Yeah.
He was like, not. Okay, and then I need
Assisted
to get
Xbox
hero.
your boy.
hit.
Oh my God, what just happened? Oh my gosh, some heavy. I was about to kill him too. God, I have like 3,000 battle points stocked up. Oh, I hate the default spawn in this. You have to run for like 20 minutes.
I think I might have just killed. Ow. Shoot! The heroes so fast. The fact that heroes, like, I still feel like heroes are a little bit of a, I don't know. I think they're balanced, but there's some people that have them that level them up all the way that I feel like is
They're
almost
supposed
unfair.
to be OP though. I don't know. That's the
Well,
whole
that's the
point of
thing
being
is
a
that
hero.
like sometimes they are OP, and sometimes like whenever I use them, I run into a room and just get fucking trashed, like just
Yeah,
messed
'cause
up
it's
like
a,
immediately.
It's a big easy target, you know. Oh, I
Well,
just
it's weird
defeated
because whenever I fight heroes, like I can kill them now. I usually have to have them slightly distracted, but I can kill them now. Like it's not like impossible for me, but like, oh, I just got closed in a door.
Oh dang, dude. Bro, why do I have 42 kills? I'm killing it.
I am not doing
This
that
little
well.
blaster pistol with the. Oh, I'm right next to you. The blaster pistol on the Rocket Man is really good.
Yeah, the aerial is a super
Okay,
OP.
cool. I do a life where I get 7 kills, and I do a life where I die immediately. Oh, dude, they are getting us real good.
Goodness, there's somebody
There's
that's
Detroit Deca
really
spawn
good.
Camping. Okay, got him.
He got trapped. Did you see that where he got trapped? He got trapped in the door.
Yeah.
They haven't even gotten to
Oh my
our
gosh, dude, what
reactors
killed
yet.
me?
Oh, just kidding. They have.
God. Yeah, I imagine they're taking him out. Oh, there's only one left.
Yeah, I'm going back there. What it is
Jeez,
a
man.
droid echo will
They
just
are
a team will just
spawn camping
roll
us.
in.
Like some guy's 90 kills. They're literally spawn camping us. It's literally so bad. Like go do the objective instead of spawn camping.
Oh, they're getting the objective.
And they're spawn camping. It's the gayest of both worlds. I mean, if you had like 20 people, you could plan like a crazy strategy like that. But There's no way all these people are on the same team. I just beat another hero. Or it was like a sub-hero, whatever. Same race, but not a hero. That's the funniest thing.
Hostiles have destroyed the target.
What?
Jeez, dude.
They weren't even in the room.
Speedrunners? We should jump on Twitch and see if this guy's streaming who we're playing against us.
And spawn camp them or
Spawn
hunt.
Stream snipe them.
Stream snipe, yeah.
I always like the statistics for like the game you're streaming.
Yeah, that sounds about right. 3 out of the top guys are all on the same team.
All right, Star Wars Battlefront 2. Let's see who's streaming. There are.
Dun, dun,
My.
dun,
It's frozen.
Dun.
Oh, I can't tell if it's frozen or if it's. Where am I? I'm looking for my little logo here. I don't see it.
So in the time in between matches, I'm doing some. I'm working on my fantasy mock drafts, and I'm gonna screw some people up this year.
Okay, I'm on the page. This guy's calling coffee in Star Wars. Where's my stream? Am I like at the top for some reason?
Who's at the top? Is it me?
No, I'm on Twitch.
Oh.
I'm looking, I don't see myself, which is super weird. I don't know if that's normal. I should see myself, like, where I'm at in the list. Oh, great, droids. Ugh.
Hey, sniping as a droid is a lot easier.
True that, true that.
Because what's her name's heads are a lot bigger. It's easier to hit.
That's hilarious.
Like it actually kind of is tough to snipe as a clone because they're so slender. Or like the super battle droids have their heads inside their chests, so you gotta like hit them in the chest.
What if I recommended for you? Viewers high to low. See us at the very bottom.
Is it me? I bet you it's me.
No, I don't know why I don't show up in this. Like what? I show up if I sort by viewers low to high, but not by high to low. I don't know what's going on, dude.
I don't know how finding a stream works.
Well, you just go on and you look for a game you want. The only reason you get like viewers if you're streaming like nobody is if people are like specifically interested in your game and they want to go see the guy who has like the lowest streamer count, like viewer count.
That seems super fun.
Your full attention or whatever, and like troll you and stuff. Like I had a couple guys coming on my Minecraft stream the other night, and they were just like trolling and joking. It was cool. They were just like, "I'm in your house. Your shower's nice. How long does it take to get hot?" And I was just like, "These guys are so weird." He's like, "Hey, mind if I eat this out of your fridge?" And I was just like, "Sure, man. Do what you gotta do." I guess I got bored of it though. They left, but they both followed me, so. Oh my gosh, that was ice cold, bro.
So where are you at, subscriber count wise?
I've been stuck at 93 subscribers for a full month. Like I literally, I have my YouTube's analytics 0 subscribers in the last 28 days. I'm gonna be running ads on both my videos though.
That's because your mom ran out of kids to.
I know, right?
Subscribe.
No, I don't know what it is, honestly. Everyone that's on my Minecraft server for the YouTubers kind of had the same thing happen though, where they just like slowly stopped getting viewers over the last month.
Do you think what it
headshot,
is finally a brand new game came out, and because obviously no one has watched any of my
what game?
Last of Us.
I mean,
A lot of people,
crazy,
well,
though,
a lot of people
Last of Us getting
hate.
millions of views right now.
A lot of people hate The Last of Us. Have you heard about it? Like some of the hate
they
that's
hate
been.
The Last of Us 2. They just think whatever.
Well,
I think-
a whole bunch of people user reviewed
I've
bombed.
Yeah, I've heard two things. Everyone's like, "This is the greatest. The storytelling is unmatched, whatever." And then I've heard like, "I hate the direction they went with this. Why did they do this?"
It
You know, and it's like-
is really good. I wouldn't say because I've seen
Like, I don't.
I've seen a couple of different because obviously like the whatchamacallit, not the what is it, the Metacritic and whatever. The Metacritic score is real high, like it's like a 98 or 90,
for the
95 or whatever.
critics, yeah.
And then the user scores are like, you know, like a 10 out of whatever. So
My specialist just level 10.
it's not. It's neither of those. I would say it's probably like an 80, though. Like it's like that good.
Yeah, I don't.
You really ought to play them. Especially if no, I guess it's not on Steam because it's PlayStation.
Yeah, I mean that's the only thing where I'm like, if they make another Uncharted, like I'm gonna want to play it. But at that point, I'm probably like, I'll just borrow someone's PS5 or something, or go over to their house and play it.
We can team up and we can both buy a PlayStation.
Buy a
I'll sit it back
PS5 together. We'll just ship it back and forth. That would make more sense if we lived in the same city. Shoot.
Yeah.
Oh, got it.
But I mean, right now you have a PlayStation. So
Well,
I
that's
mean,
what I'm saying,
in the future.
dude. Everything for the next year is going to be PS4 compatible.
Well, even after that, I'm sure they're gonna have.
some variety of crossplay.
Yeah, and
Or,
I mean,
or
some games
backwards
might not,
compatibility.
but
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. I know, like, they made some really cheap, like, Call of Duties and, like, FIFA and Madden games for last-gen consoles. And that's kind of, some of that just gets disgusting. But, like, sometimes developers have been on this development cycle for so long, and it's not too difficult to adapt it to the new console, but they've already made it mostly for the old console, so it's like, yeah, we might as well release it for both. Like, I know there's a bunch of games that are releasing PS4 like late in its cycle, you know.
like The Last of Us.
Yeah, like Last of Us, like
And it's
Dreams
not-
just came out. Like,
I don't think it's been remastered or anything for.
Oh, I think it
5
absolutely
either.
will get remastered. It might take 2
Oh, at
years.
some point,
but
yes, but
they're gonna get that money. They're not gonna lose out on it. But yeah, it might take a while. Like PS4 might be the only way to play it. Or isn't it supposed to be backwards compatible anyway? Like they're
yeah, that's what
I
that's what
just
I've heard.
direct hit someone with a rocket, bro.
Did you blow him up? Did you kill him?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, of course it blew him up and killed him.
Well, okay then, Mister.
If it's backwards compatible, then digital PS4 games, you can just play them on the PS5, you know?
Yeah,
I don't know. I think if I end up moving to where I'm like gaming full time, quote unquote, or making YouTube full time, then it's a good investment because if I can make like 10 or 20 videos about it, that's great. You know, that'll probably pay for itself, assuming that I eventually start making money off this stuff.
well, if you
But-
get to the point where
Oh,
you're
no.
gaming full time
Oh, no.
and making a lot of money off of it, it won't matter
Yeah.
anyway.
Well, making a regular salary, at the very least, it'll be tax deductible and all that stuff. Like, if I make a single video with the PS4 in it or playing the PS4, I could deduct it from my taxes, you know? So at that point, it's like, it'll benefit me to actually spend money on games and consoles and stuff, because everything I spend is a penny I won't have to pay in taxes, you know?
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I mean, that's probably 3-4 years away at this point, so there might not even be a reason to get a PS5 at that point.
Yeah, because
And
PS6
it's
will
also
be out.
like, Do people? No, I mean, the PS4 went for 7 years, dude. Like 2013 was the release. I remember because I got one holiday 2013. That's like the craziest thing ever that my parents actually bought me one.
Because weren't they like super dumb expensive?
No, they were chill. I think my parents got it for like $420, $450 with 2 controllers and a game.
I think the Xbox was like dumb. It was like almost 600.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, that's always been the deal.
I was still
with,
young. I was still young enough to ask for it for Christmas. You know. But yeah, the craziest part is like the value that PlayStation 4s have is about to just drop through the floor to like $50. You know, it would be a great time to be like a kid or whatever. You want to get a PS4 and some PS4 games. There's literally like 50 million PS4s in the wild, and you know, at least 20 million of those people within the first year are going to upgrade to PS5. So you're talking about 20 million used consoles just kind of out there now.
Is that a real number? Or?
That's a straight up real number. How many PS4s do you think they sold?
Oh, probably 15
in the first year of the cycle.
Everyone's going
absolutely have sold 50 million, and they will probably sell 20 million in the first year of the PS5 life cycle. Assuming that their pricing is anything to go on. I don't know, dude. Did you hear that crazy rumor that the prices were going to be like $450 and like $360 or something like that?
Yeah, from you.
No CD. Oh yeah, I said that last week. I was like, if they release at that price, they'll literally sell so many millions of those consoles.
Yes, I will buy a PlayStation 5.
But they'll lose so much money. Like, all the R&D budget for the PS5 will not be recouped from that kind of.
Well, at this point, it's like it's one of those things where you're playing with like okay, so people will make shitty remakes of movies that don't make any money and actually lose them money, but studios are just like, whatever, I don't give a like, you know,
greenlighting it left and right.
Well, greenlight another one. So it's, or like Netflix will just like put out bullshit and
terrible movies. Like
but
a $1 million
like,
budget for a teen rom-com.
Yeah, and it's a garbage movie and whatever, and no one likes it. And well,
we watched
teens
one last
like
night.
it.
It was okay. It was I don't know, the one with the Asian girl Choo Choo who writes essays for people.
I've heard about it. I heard it wasn't bad. I've heard that's one of the ones that's not bad.
It's fairly predictable, but it's a little there's a few twists and turns that I didn't expect, so it was interesting. I'd say worth a watch at the very least. You know, there's so many stuff. It's like, oh wow, I wish I could have that 2 hours of my life back.
Right now I'm going back through Parks and Recreation. And
I wish
Parks
I could
and
get
Rec
Lauren to watch it. She thinks it's horrible.
My mom hates it too.
I'm like, it's literally, it's like they took The Office and perfected it. If you think it's like The Office, and if you think
yeah, I think it's funnier than The Office.
Because I'm actually about to finish The Office for the first time, and I don't think, well, there's so much more character depth in The Office, you know, like.
Well, here, let me think of the comparison. That's
sorry, in Parks and Rec, there's more character depth.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to say. I don't know what I said. I said The Office.
There's more. I think there's more characters that matter in Parks and Rec.
Oh, absolutely. You get to care and see everyone. The Office characters are somewhat interchangeable.
It's like Jim and Dwight and Pam, but then there's like people like that aren't really used that much. Like Oscar is only used for the gay jokes, and Toby. Yeah. I like that Toby is. Have you heard the Toby story?
No, I know.
So there's a bunch of really good videos about how Toby is actually the Scranton Strangler.
Oh yeah.
Have you heard any?
Actually, no, but I see the angles.
Oh man.
But I do wonder how he convinced that guy to strangle him when he went to visit the prison. Then.
No, he didn't. He framed him for murder, and the idea is that he told him about his lie, and he got strangled. Because after he starts feeling bad about it after he frames an innocent man for I guess presumably murder, because he gets life in prison or whatever. Yeah. And he goes and tells the guy, and then the guy gets super pissy and strangles him.
And tries to strangle. Yeah, that's crazy. But I mean, that's a
like
super interesting take.
And then like
I
the
don't
car
think it's
that the
that deep at
Scranton's
all,
strangling.
but I like the idea that
Oh,
it could
it's
be that
deep. The car that they see the Scranton Strangler driving away in is a car that's parked in the office a lot. It's not explicitly Toby's car.
I haven't gone that
There's,
in detail with it.
dude, it's a detailed thing, and like I think it all starts when he goes on his vacation after getting dumped by Pam, or turned down by Pam to go on a date, and he goes to Costa Rica and breaks his neck or whatever.
Oh yeah.
So he develops his Scranton Strangler or whatever, and the first strangling happens when Pam and Jim have their first baby, as if he was mad or whatever about you know, Pam, a girl he likes, having a baby with somebody else. There's like a lot of angles to it, and I think it's a really interesting.
I can
theory.
see it. I can definitely see it. I haven't like paid tons and tons of attention to The Office when I have been watching it, but I think
well, yeah,
I'll
that's like
watch it
the
again
thing
now.
about it is it's hard.
I kind of it grew on me over time. Like I had to slowly come to appreciate it, but I really did not like it when I first watched it because I just hated Michael's character so much.
Yeah,
and then you kind of like. It's kind of like a sore that grows on you. You kind of learn to love it because
ew.
It's like, oh.
What? A sore that grows on you?
Yeah, it's
kind of like one of them nasty boils, you know. It just you live with it.
Well, that's essentially what it is, though, because he's so gosh dang annoying.
Everybody is the worst.
No interpersonal skills at all, except for Jim. Though everyone loves Jim all the time. I don't know if I'm rooting for Jim's business or if I'm rooting for like here's what I would like. I would like to see them move on and like move to Philadelphia and Jim runs the business and Pam gets a new job or whatever. Because I think it's good for like their health as like adults. You know, they shouldn't just live in Scranton. But I also I know the way the show is formatted, and they're going to be like, well, we just decided that we love Scranton, so Jim abandoned his new company. You know, don't tell me what it is because I don't want it to be that because I think that's a stupid decision. You know,
I don't know if I ever actually finished it either. I watched a lot of it, but I think it really falls off a cliff once Michael leaves.
It's not been horrible.
It's not horrible, but
it's okay. The worst part is like the meta-ness that comes in season 9. So have you seen season 9? Like when their documentary like comes out. So basically what happened is they introduced this character who's like a boom mic guy, who's like all of a sudden having all these interactions with Pam, you know? And it's not like for her to cheat on Jim or anything, but it's just like he's just a nice guy or whatever. But the problem is they start breaking the fourth wall like constantly, and then it's always like, oh, are these cameras always going to be following you around, whatever. And so instead of like just watching a situation and like laughing at it for what it is, you end up just kind of like you end up thinking about the reality of a situation of like, wow, it's so stupid that these cameras are all here and they have 10 angles in this coffee shop. Like, how crazy is this right now for the other people eating here, you know? And so it takes me out of like the comedy because I'm just like, why? This is so garb, you know?
Yeah.
That's the only thing that's been like disappointing for me about the...
Yeah, the mockumentary style of filmmaking is a whole lot better when it's not addressed. Like Parks and Rec, I don't think ever introduces it. Like it's never explained why.
Oh no, absolutely not. There shouldn't have to be cameras. The funny camera angles work because like there's no acknowledgement of it.
Yeah,
you know?
And I think that's good. Yeah.
And it's great because when characters like look directly into camera or they have asides into a camera, you don't think about it. You just think about it like they're telling you, their friend, some gossip about an office space or something like that. Instead of you thinking about it like, this is so weird. Why would they record this? Doesn't make any sense, you know?
Yeah.
Because there's so many things that are like, they would not record this. Like, this is insane.
Well, what is more like is instead of it calling, because they always call it the documentary format, because it is, right? But what it really is fake reality TV is what it really is.
Oh yeah.
Because
And
it's more
funnier,
it's more like Keep Up with the Kardashians or whatever than like
but
an
real
actual
reality TV
documentary.
sucks for the exact reason that it's not like fake, you know?
Well, it is fake, and they just don't say it is. Because a lot of stuff is heavily
absolutely.
scripted.
They play it up, and they have to like re-record things to fit in and be funnier, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like in shows like that, they plan what they're trying to record instead of sorry. So they're writing a script, they're planning what's going to be recorded, and so it's much funnier because it all seems and feels natural instead of feeling forced and like.
But in order to make a coherent show, you have to, so it like becomes more of a thing. So I think that's why like TV shows like The Office or whatever are better than shows that are like real TV or whatever. Just because like if the Keeping Up with the Kardashians people run for office and become mayor of a town, you're like, what the fuck? Why? You know what I mean? But like if Leslie Knope runs for office, you're like, okay, well that makes sense or whatever. You know, but also if you watch an actual candidacy run for office, it's not fun. You know? Like imagine watching Joe Biden's show. Just the Joe Biden running for office show.
Oh, that would be tremendously awful.
It wouldn't be as funny. Yeah, it just wouldn't be very funny.
No, I agree with you totally.
It'd be C-SPAN is what it would be.
It's funny because it's scripted, but it's designed to look like it's not, and it's not acknowledged that it's scripted, you know? The problem is they just start taking you out of it, so it's not funny anymore, because if you think about the reality of things they're doing, you're like this, that is so rude, that is so, you know...
With who? Which person?
Any person with common sense would not do this ever, you know?
Are you talking about real TV or whatever? Or
no, I'm talking about The Office stuff.
Yeah.
Like anyone, like Michael does not mature over time. He just is always Michael, and it's like that's not realistic at all, you know?
Yeah, he would have been fired. Well, I mean, you've seen that his company, they're the only branch that actually makes any money.
Oh yeah. That's like, it's because they're in the show. That branch obviously does not. Have you
heard the reason why? The theory. Here's another theory. I'm a big Office theory guy. There's only these. These are the two big ones. Here's the reason. The people that work in HR, or no, accounting, are money launderers.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah.
And they're all pretending to be imbeciles. So like Kevin is like really actually smart because he winds up buying a bar or whatever at the end, I think, or something.
God,
I don't remember.
Spoilers, dude.
Oh, no, you said you don't give a dang about.
I don't care about spoilers. I just care about the Jim and Pam spoilers. Like I want to experience whatever happens naturally to them.
Yeah, but I'm about to die. Dang it! I was in my thermal vision and I just got blown up because I couldn't see the grenades. But yeah, like there's a bunch of characters, like those characters like wind up being fairly well off or whatever, and
yeah,
I don't know, it's just like a funny deal where you have these people that are arguably like not very intelligent or whatever, but they make the company a lot of money because they're actually money laundering.
Well, and the thing that makes me cringe most in shows like that is where people make like psychotic decisions, and those decisions like have a large effect on a company or something. Like when Andy comes back and then he makes a phone call and loses the White Pages deal or whatever, which they said earlier in an episode it was supposed to increase their sales by 50%. You know? That's the craziest thing in the world to me. You're telling me that this guy came back from one day and lost 50% of their sales. Dang it. And he wasn't fired after the CEO found out that he skipped the last 3 months or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Like, he just sailed his boat away and came back 3 months later. I'm sure it was because the actor had to go film the movie or something, but... That's completely psycho to me because I'm like, dude, that would never ever happen. It's insane, one, that he lost this deal by being an idiot, because what he said was, oh, they had signed the contract at a price that was lower than they're supposed to offer. And I was like, if you signed a contract, doesn't that mean that the higher ups have approved it? You know?
Yeah.
Because it's.
I mean, not to
insane
mention
think
that Andy, that's his name, right?
Yeah.
Andy is not a good boss. Like, I don't know. None of them are
I
really
like him as
good
a boss,
bosses.
but he's like the thing that Jim said is the most true. He goes, "Would you believe it that we don't actually need a manager? We're all adults and we just come in and we do our job, you know?" And that was like the truest thing that he ever said, because basically Andy did nothing as manager, and that was what helped them be so productive. And then he missed 3 months, and they were like the most productive 3 months of the company or whatever.
Yeah.
So that was why I'm always like, you know, the management position has always been a hindrance. I always thought Michael like stopped people from getting so much work done. They could have made so much more money without Michael.
But even with Michael,
took
Michael
out
was
the-
a salesman at the beginning.
Yeah.
So he understands the way to make sales. He's a good salesman, but a bad boss, which I think is another
Exactly.
reason why he's a good boss or whatever. Or I mean, if everyone rallies behind a person everyone hates, I don't think anyone hated Michael though. I don't know where I'm going down this. But in terms of to go back to your comment about characters, what was it? I just think I killed
Developing?
myself. When you were talking about oh, was that a mine? What was that? I don't know what that was. When you were talking about characters that do things that are super hindrance to the company,
Yeah.
it made me think about okay, so I know I'm talking about it a lot. I've just played it. The Last of Us is all set in. It's all about like the decisions to do a thing and the consequences of those decisions, right? So the story kind of starts at the end of the first Last of Us game, where Ellie is the little girl and this is spoilers for The Last of Us 1 and some of 2. Not even really though.
If it's a good story, spoilers don't matter.
That's true, and that's why I think that people should play The Last of Us even if they read the leaks or whatever.
Novel.
But they the main storyline of the end one is she's immune to the disease, so this group of doctors or
I
whatever.
watched the full recap. Like, I understand.
Yeah, so
They wanted to cut her brain out, and he was
yeah,
like, no,
and
I'm gonna
he
run away.
he comes back and
Well,
kills
I
all the
watched
people in there, right?
I watched the How It Should Have Ended comedy recap. That's what I watched.
Okay, cool. So you know exactly how it works. So she
Yeah.
doesn't die. He kills everybody, and like the whole game, you're supposed to like be like, oh well, you know, Joel did what was right because now he's with Ellie or whatever. When I got done with that game, I was like, no, Joel is straight up the bad guy of this game, and you know,
Yeah,
he's a villain or whatever. And then the next game delves into, you know, someone shows up from Joel's past, and it's not explicitly understood who it is at the beginning, but that's the person who kills Joel. It's a girl named Abby or whatever, and you're like, oh, I wonder what happened. And throughout the game, you realize that her dad. So there's a scene. I don't know if you saw this in the comedy recap because it's not very funny, but there's a character that when he's going to save Ellie, yeah, I thought someone would finally come around. I killed like a bunch of dudes just now.
Yeah.
There's a doctor when he walks into the room, and the doctor's like, no, you can't be in here, we have to do this, or whatever, blah, 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 blah. And he grabs a knife and comes at Joel, and Joel kills him, right? And that character turns out to be the Abby character's dad.
Yeah, it's his daughter. I guess that when you said
Yeah, so...
killed. But yeah.
Oh, shoot. And for 4 years, she's trying to track him down and kills him. And then the idea is that, like, the whole scenario of Joel going to kill or save Ellie or whatever, setting all these events into motion or whatever, then they move off to Seattle or whatever, join the Seattle Coalition or whatever, and Ellie goes to kill all them. So she kills everybody, all of Abby's friends or whatever, and then there's like this really interesting midpoint game where Abby shows up and like is holding Ellie at gunpoint, right? And flash cut, and then you play the entire game through Abby's perspective again, which is the most wild, insane thing I've seen a game do in a long time. And that's the spoiler bit, is the fact that it's not in any of the trailers or anything, but like half of the game is played from Abby's perspective. And what they do is they paint Ellie as this horrible person, because like she's just like, you know, she's like not really remorseful or whatever of what she did to Joel, but like it really puts a toll on her because she's not happy like she thought she would be after she got revenge or whatever. And she like starts turning over a new leaf, and they're like in this war with this other group of people in the city, and she like saves a kid from that group, and it's like this whole thing, and it paints her to be like this like really good person who's like turned around a whole new leaf. And then she comes back home, and all of her friends have been killed. And Ellie's the one who's hunting them, and there's like she like stumbles upon the she stumbles upon some of Ellie's stuff like in one of their hideouts. And there's all these photos, and it looks like Ellie is like a serial killer, because there's like all of her friends are like in photos on the wall. There's like X's on all of them, and
is this
she's like,
after
what
you
the
played
fuck?
Ellie killing all those people?
Yes. And the
Dear
whole
God,
story
dude.
is played from the other perspective. So like she's having conversations with, you know, these people, and like she's like, you know, I really hope that we can do this, or I'm really excited about this thing, or one of them's like, you know, I'm really excited to move off to this next place after we get done with this mission. And you're like, yeah, I know what happens to you. Like I know what's gonna happen. And oh, it's just so good.
And then she gets killed, which is like the finale of Ellie's storyline. And I love the idea that these guys are getting cuffed. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, why aren't they killed? Yeah, why didn't we kill them? Also, we held them back. How cool is that?
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that. I was totally dominating though, except for my score does not reflect that.
After this game, we can go try.
Yeah, that sounds alright.
Bullets and whatever. But yeah, like no,
Bullets
she
and
doesn't
banter.
die. Like the end of the game, or the end of the Ellie storyline, she's being held at gunpoint by Abby, right? And then the end of the Abby storyline is you're playing as Abby, you hunt down Ellie at her hideout, and you hold her at gunpoint, right? And then, as you're pulling the trigger to kill her, my voice is cracked. As you pull the trigger to kill her, she
That's when you switch to her storyline, you see the whole story, and then you get to that point.
Well, okay, yeah, so then you play the Abby storyline or whatever, but then at the end of the Abby storyline, it ends in the same spot, where she pulls the trigger to kill Ellie, and a character saves Ellie's life, but the midpoint boss, where I thought the end of the game was,
yeah,
is Ellie is the final the baddie, like the boss fight is fighting Ellie, and she's like using all the abilities you've given her and like whatever, and it's like this crazy fight, because Ellie is like wild. She's like a wild survival woman that's like impossible to kill, you know? And you get to the point where the thing about Abby, I haven't said this about Abby yet. Abby is like the most fucking jacked person I've ever seen. She's got biceps like a freaking truck. Like, I don't know how to explain them. You need to Google Abby from The Last of Us. She's got like big old huge, like she's like jacked up, because like part of her story is like she built herself up to be this like tank to go fight and kill Joel. Like, I guess that's where she turned to in her depression, was just weightlifting and, you know, anger or whatever. But she's huge, so like
my depression was like
Abby doesn't like, or Ellie doesn't have like a physical chance to kill Abby, so like she's got to be like all scroungy or whatever.
Scrappy.
Yeah, scrappy or whatever. And at the end of that, like, it gets to the point where Abby like just fucks up Ellie, and or like as you, so you've got to like, you know, push square to beat Ellie's face in, and it's really like sad and depressing because you have to push X a bunch of times or whatever, and it gets to the point where
your own
beat the character, yeah, the person you're trying to keep safe. Abby has befriended this little boy from this other group, and the little boy doesn't want her to kill this pregnant woman and Ellie. So she like understands that like she doesn't want to be this unkillable.
Wait, Ellie's pregnant?
No, okay, so Ellie's a lesbian.
Yeah.
And Ellie's girlfriend is, I guess, bi. So, which is fine. I mean, it's all
she's pregnant,
and she's pregnant with a different guy, like this baby that she used to date or whatever. But like,
presumably a man, not a different woman.
Yes, but and it is a really cute relationship. And even though it's like, you know, some people might not agree with
how do
whatever,
I have 41 kills and I'm like dragging up the rear?
Oh, I don't know, because everyone else has like 1.5 billion. But the end of that storyline, where the storyline ends, is Abby lets Ellie live because she has like Ellie's girlfriend who's pregnant, like against, you know, the throat with a knife, and she's about to like slice her open or whatever, and the little boy like convinces her not to, you know, be this horrible person again. And she's like, you know, I don't want to see you ever again or whatever. And so Ellie goes back home with everybody that isn't dead, that went with her to the place, because it definitely does take a toll on her group. And she makes it back home, and the way it looks like it's gonna end is like she's like living on this farm with her girlfriend and her baby, presumably after like 9 or whatever months. It's like maybe a year later. And one of the characters has found a lead on where Abby is and sparks the interest to go back and kill her because she's been having like PTSD or whatever. So then the second half of the game is, or the last, you know, 2 hours of the game is Ellie goes cross country from Wyoming to Santa Barbara.
Gosh, this looks insane. Yeah.
She goes to. Did you Google a photo?
Yeah, I Googled Abby.
She's fucking huge, and wouldn't you know it, she just snaps people's necks like twigs when you're playing as her. She's super cool.
Oh, absolutely.
But
yo, my RGB cable's going.
The you go and find Abby in Santa Barbara, and when she does, it's this like really like gross moment where when Ellie finally does find Abby, you know, she's gone through the hell in Santa Barbara because there's like a biker gang or whatever that's taken over the city. Abby has been captured with the little boy, and they've been captured for like 7 or 8 months, and they've been held in captivity, and like, you know, presumably horrible things have happened to them, and she's been like starved, and Ellie finds her like hanging on like this like pillar thing, I guess because she tried to escape, so they're like punishing her, so she like probably hasn't eaten in a week or so. So she's like malnourished, and she's like really skinny, and like she looks like real rough. And Ellie like cuts her down or whatever, but like as she's trying to escape or whatever, Ellie's like, no, you can't just get away, and you've got to like, it's like not a fair fight, and it's like a disgusting fight where Ellie's like essentially like just murdering this woman like with no contest. And she's like choking her out under the water because they're on a beach or whatever, which is like a really cool moment or whatever. But she's choking her out on a beach, and there's this scene where it pans up, and Ellie looks like a freaking psychopath. And I guess she has a memory of one of the last conversations she had with Joel where he asks for forgiveness, because I guess she's really depressed about the fact that in the first game she just wanted to have her life mean something, and her being the only one that's immune made her life really important or whatever. And since he killed all these people, it took all of her you know, meaning of life away, and she like is super pissed off at him for it or whatever. But she says she's gonna, you know, they strike up a deal to for her to attempt to forgive him, like to work toward forgiveness of him or whatever. It's like this really sweet moment or whatever, but then the next day he dies, right? He gets killed the next day. So it reveals that the reason she can't let it go is because she was never able to forgive Joel.
Him before,
and she said some really like bad things to him too beforehand. So like she never felt like she had the closure she needed with Joel, so she was robbed of it by Abby.
Yeah.
But in that last moment, she decides that if she can't forgive Joel, then like it's like, you know, I need to work on forgiveness anyway, and it's not gonna fix my problems.
Wait, did we just win? Are we boarding now?
No, they're boarding again.
Oh, they're boarding again. Okay, I'm just gonna give up this time.
Oh gosh.
But I don't know. It's a little bit long. I think honestly it could be longer if there was less smash cuts to each like next bit at the last hour. I think it might have been better. So like this is one of these wild scenarios where if the game was like 3 or 4 hours longer, it'd be better, even though it's too long now. You know what I mean? Like,
it's funny.
If you're gonna go too long, then go too long, you know, longer, and then flesh out that storyline a little bit more, because it's really kind of jarring how fast it cuts between different things. But anyway, it's like this really good story of, you know, people's actions have like severe consequences, the same way that people in the office losing accounts is a bad thing.
Yes.
But will Lori watch The Office? Does she like The Office? She doesn't like The Office, I guess, obviously.
She likes The Office. She's watched it like 4 times.
She just doesn't like Parks and Rec?
I don't know why she doesn't like Parks and Rec. I'm like, have you ever given it a chance? Anybody who's watched the first like 2 episodes hates Parks and Rec. But you have to literally like skip the first episodes if you're gonna enjoy Parks and Rec, and you're like adverse to it, you know.
When I started,
it looked dope as hell. Obi-Wan and Anakin were just walking up the hallway, just like throwing droids aside, killing them. I was like, dang, it looks sick.
I restarted when I started my rewatch. I started at like season 3, I think, which is the season where she puts together the fall festival or whatever and starts doing whatever. Like she just in my where I'm at right now is where she just became city councilwoman. So yeah, I really do think that like even season 2 is really good. Like I think that you have to kind of give it a little bit of time. But like Evelyn, I don't think has ever really seen it, so she's watching it a little bit now, and I don't know. She really likes Rod. She likes Chris Pratt. She likes I think she likes Leslie and people like that, but she doesn't like Aziz Ansari's character. She hates him. Tom.
That's insane, dude. Tom is literally the greatest character.
Tom is super irritating. He's funny, and he's got a bunch of really good funny lines, and I like Aziz Ansari, but I can see why she hates him.
I guess. Hold on. Okay, there are.
And talk about people that are really bad at business. Tom Haverford.
There are 13
horrible.
people streaming Ghost Recon Breakpoint. There's 26 viewers right now. I have a weird theory
that we're way better at streaming, so that they'll all join.
There are 36 people watching Ghost Recon Wildlands. No, dude. I was gonna say like.
Oh my god.
I'm whipping it out.